Well, good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Good, good. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday. My name is David Niles, and I have the honor of holding the position of Director of Development here at the Robert H. Jackson Center. And on behalf of the center, thank you for attending today's presentation. If you are not familiar with the center, is this your first time here, anyone? Yes. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Thank you. If you want to find out more about us and what we do, I invite you to come spend some time here and explore. And for those of you watching online, or if you're from out of town, please visit us at roberthjackson.org. At the center, we envision a global society where the universal principles of equality, fairness, and justice prevail. For nearly 25 years, it'll actually be 25 years this December, we have honored and promoted the legacy of Robert H. Jackson, U.S. Solicitor General, U.S. Attorney General, U.S. Supreme Court Justice, and Chief U.S. Prosecutor of the International Military Tribunal in Nuremberg. The Jackson Center advances the legacy of Justice Jackson through education. We use a variety of methods, including in-person and virtual programs and presentations, exhibits, available media, and scholarship. We demonstrate the contemporary relevance of Justice Jackson's ideas and work to this and future generations. So we also value being a third space for our community to gather, dream, discuss, and learn together. And today, it's all about Howard Ehmke. Besides being a fan of Robert H. Jackson, I'm also a big fan of baseball. And I'm excited to watch today's presentation, and I just keep thinking about equality, justice, and fairness through the rule of law and baseball. If only the 2017 Houston Astros believed in that, my New York Yankees would have another championship. Just want to throw that out there. So anyway, to start us off, I'd like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Greg Peterson.
This is a wow moment. Little did we realize when a few of us had the seed of an opportunity to honor Silver Creek, to honor its most noted person, and also at the same time, perhaps, probably in Chautauqua County, the person who had the greatest resume of anybody who we've ever had here. And to learn, as we were doing a little research, that in fact it's the 100th anniversary of the use of the tarp for the very first time in the 1925 World Series. A guy named Howard Ehmke, while working through a company in Detroit, sold that to them, and they used it 100 years ago. How cool. And to have a chance to have Ehmke family members gather as if it's a reunion, fantastic, from all over the country are here. And to have folks from the Ehmke well drillers here, and Ehmke Manufacturing, who I will introduce in just a second. This is a chance for me, like no other, to really learn an awful lot about what it is that makes a person from this area very special, Howard Ehmke. And we've had a chance to talk to various people in the community. I always wonder, how does this all come together? And whether it's the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, whether it's Jeff Hornberg mentioning this at a village of Silver Creek, mentioning my phone call, and next thing you know, there's a big article in the Dunkirk Observer saying it's happening. Then I guess it is. So, and next thing to Martha Boutte, who's here running shotgun up there, distributing tickets, creating posters. Our conversation with the good folks of Ehmke Manufacturing, not only did they say, gee, we're interested, but we're coming. How cool is that? And to have Vince Martonis, who's right over there with his wonderful Tarp Skunks jersey. God bless the Tarp Skunks. And to have Lou Pelletier find a treasure trove of stuff. And to have the folks from a guy named Marc Isaacs, who I didn't know where the hell he was. And a year ago, I got a call from somebody from Chautauqua Institution telling me there's this guy who's written a play called Ehmke, Howard Ehmke. So the next thing you know, we brought Marc down here. Next thing you know, we interviewed him. Next thing we knew, he's real. And it's a real play, and it's going to happen. And today, we've conned him into doing an excerpt of it. And we've actually, more importantly, convinced thespians of Chautauqua County to come and play read it for your benefit. How cool is this? So to set the stage, I'm going to call up Randy Anderson, who's the president, CEO of the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame. And if time ever permits to stop by there, you'll see a lot of information on Howard Ehmke, some of which is here today. But there's probably no better writer and gatherer of sports history than Randy Anderson. And we are the beneficiaries today. If you did not get this, we have a few extras, so please take them back, especially the Ehmke family members who are here. Take a bunch and send them around. Put together fantastic. This is out of whole cloth for this specific event. So I want to call up Randy Anderson to sort of set the stage. Thank you. Randy?
So, welcome everyone. We're really happy to be here to honor our inductee, Howard Ehmke.
Hey, Randy, can I ask you to go?
Okay, all right. I got a pretty big mouth. We were fortunate to honor Howard Ehmke with induction into the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame in 1983. So we were pretty early into the game of recognizing the greatness of Howard Ehmke. I'm wearing a shirt. This is the Jamestown Tarpskunks baseball team road uniform. And on the sleeve, there's a patch that says, Howard Ehmke, father of the infield tarp. That is really special. So who is Howard Ehmke? Well, if you want to go into a deep dive, I've provided that for you. Go for the deep dive. But I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version to set the stage this afternoon. Howard Ehmke is a name that may not immediately resonate with casual baseball fans. But his contributions to the sport, particularly his legendary performance in the 1929 World Series, have cemented his place in baseball history. A right-handed pitcher known for his durability and tactical prowess, Ehmke played for several major league teams, including the Buffalo Blues, the Detroit Tigers, the Boston Red Sox, and the Philadelphia Athletics. His career spanned from 1915 to 1930, during which he compiled a one-loss record of 166 wins and 166 losses, with a 3.75 earned run average. Howard John Ehmke was born April 24th, 1894, in Silver Creek, New York. He was the 9th child in a family of 11 children. It was a family of German and Swedish descent. His early exposure to baseball came through his high school team in Silver Creek, which won the Chautauqua County Championship in 1912. Ehmke followed his brother to Southern California in 1913 and attended Glendale High School for a year before beginning his professional baseball career with the Los Angeles Angels of the Pacific Coast League in 1914. His impressive performance that season, including a streak of 8 consecutive victories, attracted the attention of major league teams. After a bidding war between several teams, Ehmke was signed with the Buffalo Blues of the Federal League in 1915. He made his major league career in April of 1915 with the Buffalo Feds. However, his career really took off when he joined the Detroit Tigers in 1916. Over the next several seasons, he established himself as a reliable pitcher, known for his ability to endure long innings and complete games. In 1923, while playing for the Boston Red Sox, Ehmke had his best season, winning 20 games and pitching a no-hitter on September 7th. He nearly achieved back-to-back no-hitters. However, an official scorer's controversial call denied him that feat. His ability to control the game with his strategic pitching made him a valuable asset to the Red Sox. Ehmke holds the American League record for the fewest hits allowed in 2 consecutive starts. Additionally, he ranks 16th all-time in hit batters. He wasn't afraid to get the guys off the plate. That was Howard's territory. If you're going to step in there, you're going to get backed up. He hit 137 batters in his career, and he led the league 7 different times in hit batters. Howard was a fierce competitor. During his declining career in the late 1920s, Howard's most memorable moment came in the 1929 World Series while playing for the Philadelphia A's. At age 35, he was unexpectedly chosen by his manager, Connie Mack, to start Game 1 of the series against the powerful Chicago Cubs. Many doubted the decision by Mr. Mack, as Ehmke had only pitched sporadically that season. However, Ehmke delivered a stunning performance, striking out a then record 13 batters and securing the win for the A's. His unexpected triumph remains one of the most famous tactical decisions in World Series history. This game marked his final win of his career, but it solidified his legacy as a clutch pitcher in big-time games. After retiring from baseball in 1930, Ehmke transitioned into business. He founded a company that produced the first tarpaulins designed to cover baseball fields during rain delays, an innovation that is now a standard across the sport. Howard passed away on March 17, 1959 in Philadelphia. Though he may not be widely recognized as some of his contemporaries, his contributions to baseball, both as a player and an innovator, have left a lasting impact on the game. Howard's career is a testament to perseverance, adaptability, and strategic brilliance. From his early days as a promising pitcher to his legendary World Series performance, Ehmke demonstrated the qualities of a true competitor. His legacy lives on not only through his records and achievements, but also through his contributions to the game's infrastructure. For baseball enthusiasts, his story serves as a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected heroes shine the brightest. Howard.
Thank you, Randy. And as was mentioned in that description, he, aside from baseball playing, he was also involved in life after baseball. He anticipated that. And in fact, as we briefly found, and nobody really knew until we started digging, that in 1925, he created in Detroit area, Michigan, a Howard Ehmke company, and in fact, sold a tarpaulin to the Pittsburgh Pirates 100 years ago. And we're going to now hear from Bob Rosania, who is the owner and CEO of the Ehmke Manufacturing Company, which in fact is the company that was created in Philadelphia that we know and know well. And we also want to welcome and delighted to have Glenn Ost, who's here as the president, and Greg and Laura Ogden. Thank you for making the extraordinary effort coming up from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to be part of our world in Chautauqua County. So Bob, if we could call you forward. Thank you very much. Bob Rosania.
This is great, fantastic, right? I'm Bob Rosania. I've been the owner and CEO of Ehmke Manufacturing Company since 1992. And Randy, when you tell that story about his performance in the 1929 World Series, I can't tell you how many times I stood in my office giving tours and repeating that same story. Now, of course, it's been embellished that, he was fighting through every pitch and struck out his last batter was the 13th strikeout to set the World Series record. So I want to thank Randy, Mr. Peterson, Marc Isaacs, who I just met with his research. Mr. Niles, thank you so much for all putting this all together, and the actors who will grace this stage. It's wonderful. I thank you for not selecting me to be an actor, because I have a face better suited for radio. So good luck to your folks. And the Ehmke family. Who's here from the Ehmke family? Outstanding, outstanding. So part of Ehmke Manufacturing, we made up this honorary hat, which Miss Laura from my company, who designed and put it together. I would like the Ehmke family, we have a box of hats here, so please help yourself to have an honorary Ehmke Manufacturing hat that we distributed. We distributed these hats to, right now we have over 152 employees at the Howard Ehmke Manufacturing Company, right? That's great. When I jumped on board in 1992, we had 18 employees. So I have had the ability of just being a steward of wonderful, wonderful employees, like Glenn Ost, our president, and Laura Ogden, who's a key person in our sales department, and Greg is our honorary PR man, who's always talking about Ehmke. So these people, I stand on the shoulders of these employees that have grown this company from making the first infield tarps to now we provide goods primarily for the military and the defense marketplace. So for our war fighters, that's why I have a little American flag on my shirt. For our war fighters, we make custom backpacks and ballistic protection and ballistic helmets and all types of different military bags and cases, interiors of military helicopters and military aircraft that our warfighters use in their mission. So when I heard, Randy, such a great tribute, and you said that Howard was such a clutch performer when the lights were brightest, right? I look at my team, that we have a banner in our shop that says, "Our troops deserve your best," and they are performing every day to live up to that mission. So it's a kind of nice, to use a pun in the sewing business, it's kind of nice that thread runs through from when he performed on the field and what my folks are doing now in the factory. So it's good work, and I'm honored to represent Mr. Ehmke and Ehmke Manufacturing Company. It was crazy. A number of years ago, we put together our 75th anniversary book about our company, and we dug up just a fraction of the memorabilia here. But one of the things that I was most proud of when we found these boxes that were buried in the storeroom was that there were letters from school students writing to Mr. Ehmke asking for his autograph, but more importantly, one letter in particular talks about this young fifth grader, writes a letter to Mr. Ehmke and apologizes for interfering with him raking his leaves on his lawn at home. And I could imagine right now, like if you went to Bryce Harper, you went to his house, he's not raking any leaves. So it really gave the humanity of who Mr. Ehmke was. And we're thrilled as representatives of Ehmke Manufacturing Company to be here today. And I want to thank everybody that put this together. We certainly appreciate being part of it. Thank you very much.
As I mentioned a little bit earlier, last year I got a phone call from folks that I knew at Chautauqua Institution saying, you got to meet this guy, Marc Isaacs. And sure, why? Why would I want to meet Marc Isaacs? Well, he's written this play on Ehmke, Chautauqua County pitcher. You ever heard of him, Greg? Yeah. So then I get a hold of Marc. Next thing you know, we have a conversation. Next thing you know, he's being interviewed right here. And the next thing you know, he's in the process of preparing a play entitled Ehmke. And he shared parts of that. And when this all came together today, I asked Marc if he'd be willing to do a little brief introduction of why he did what he did, and then we'd showcase a little bit with an excerpt. So this is really the world premiere of an excerpt. Now there'll be the world premiere, maybe here, of the whole thing with all, nicely uniformed out and stuff. And I want to thank you actors on very short notice agreeing to David Niles and whatever arm that was twisted, whoever twisted your arm to come do this on a Sunday. Thank you for doing all that. But I want to call up Marc Isaacs at this point. Marc?
I am honored that my daughter is able to join us today because she gets some credit for how this got set in motion. I left New York State 2 days after 9/11 and thought I'd be back in a couple, 3 years. And instead, it was 22 years later that I found myself in Western New York because she had decided in San Antonio to go to University at Buffalo. And I landed in Sunset Bay to start and began my exploration of the area for the first time. And I saw signs, 2 signs in Silver Creek, one Ehmke's childhood home and one the ball field. And my baseball heart and small town kid heart just soared that day. And so I set in motion to research who Howard Ehmke was. And being from a small town myself and being a kid who played baseball on fields that really didn't have baselines, didn't have a mound. I think we had a concrete slab for first base and a tree for second base. I found myself fascinated by this story. So I wrote a version of this story that was comprehensive. I wanted to know everything about Howard Ehmke, starting from Silver Creek and going right through to his death. And it's a broad look. And so I learned a lot about him. I learned about a lot of the stuff that Randy shared. I learned a lot about his giving up the very first home run in Yankee Stadium to Babe Ruth, opening day 1923. I do think that second near no-hitter should be called a no-hitter. Yeah. I think we should make that change officially to MLB and give him the 2 straight no-hitters. One of the touching stories I found, though, was that in 1953, the World Series is being played, and Howard Ehmke and his wife are listening to the game on the radio. And the Dodgers and the Yankees are battling it out, and Carl Erskine on the mound for Brooklyn is on his way to beating Ehmke's record. And Howard is listening and not saying a word. In the accounts that I read, he's not saying a word, he's just listening to the game. I'm sure his wife is caught up in the moment as well. And Erskine strikes out batter number 14 to break Howard's record. And the magical point in that was he was there, present in Philadelphia, listening and knowing his record was on the line. And when he went to turn his car back on after listening to the game, it wouldn't start. His car had died. He'd listened that long. And I just love that that record followed him through his life. I love the fact that in 1944, when Major League Baseball lost a lot of ball players to the war, that Howard Ehmke very publicly said, I'll come back. A lot of old-timers would come back. And I really wish Major League Baseball had taken him up on that opportunity. But telling a big story about a relatively unknown player is a lot. It's a lot to absorb. And what I realized was, in putting that draft together of about 120 pages, I left out the reason I love the story, and I left out Silver Creek. And so I went back and I focused really strategically on where is Howard Ehmke at the end of 1928. He is at his company. He's listening to the 1928 World Series on the radio and dreaming of pitching in the World Series. His only shot, really. Except it really wasn't his only shot. Howard could have been pitching in the 1927 and 1928 World Series because he was a target for Yankees manager Miller Huggins. He wanted to trade for Howard. And Connie Mack got him first, which meant that he did not have an opportunity to pitch in the World Series until 1929. So shaping the story on that, it's about his fall from grace, a lot of references back to the pitcher that he was in 1929, looking back, and following his story through a very difficult, challenging season. I think the word Randy used was sporadically. He had 11 games pitched in 1929, 11 games. He had a start in September against the Yankees. No, I'm sorry, he was in relief against the Yankees and won the game. But he wasn't somebody you were going to see regularly. He went from starting nearly every opening day he pitched to playing 11 games. So to balance the baseball with the human side and what was happening back home in Silver Creek, I created this story in honor of him, in honor of the little boy who played the game still in his 30s, in honor of the community that dubbed him the idol of Silver Creek. And this you're going to hear today is, it's different scenes assembled from the first act of this story. So I want to welcome my actors up. Jason Sample, come on up. Alexis Smith, Jim Foley, Adam Hughes, Emily Drew, and we have a surprise guest. I literally just asked him today, Jonathan Mollick, wearing an Ehmke jersey from his time in Detroit. I said, I need a Howard Ehmke, and you are my man. And he didn't hesitate to say yes. And one more person who didn't hesitate to say yes in helping me is Bob Rosania, who, when I was in my early stages of research, I said, you know, as a kid, I used to write my favorite teams. What's wrong with just emailing or calling randomly this Ehmke company and seeing if they, are interested in what I'm doing? And he's been nothing but gracious and embraced the project and been super supportive. And the book that he mentioned, the 75-year anniversary, I have in my possession here today to finally return to him some year and a half later since he lent it to me. And it's been extraordinary. He sent me that and a book on Philadelphia manufacturing that's been invaluable in this process. So I give you a world premiere table read of an excerpt of Ehmke. Enjoy.
Interior of the Ehmke Company. The day is October 9th, 1928. Detroit, Michigan. A blue-collar man, 34, tall, lanky, and somber, oldest version of the young pitcher, appears to be packing up his shop as he listens to the radio. A radio announcer calls the play-by-play of Game 4 of the World Series. The Cardinals can't give this one up, or it's the Yankee sweep of the series. Here in the top of the 7th, at least, the Cards are holding on tight to a 2-1 lead. Schertle makes his pitch to shortstop Koenig, and Koenig pops it up to his Cardinals counterpart, shortstop Rabbit Marinville, for the first out. Now the great Bambino is back at the plate. He was responsible for the sole Yankee run so far with that home run he hit over the right field fence back in the 4th. He starts with a ball against Ruth. Another ball. Ruth fouls the next pitch, and Schertle evens the count with a swinging strike. Next pitch to Ruth. It's headed to the same place he sent the ball earlier, over the right field fence. It's a tie game now as Ruth rounds the bases, and another member of the murderer's row steps to the plate. Last time up, Gehrig was walked by Schertl. Let's see if he does it again to protect the tie. His first pitch to Larapin Lou is a ball outside. His next pitch, this one looks like it's charted the same course as the Babes, over the right field fence to give the Yankees a 3-2 lead. The blue-collar man shuts off the radio with a sense of outcome ahead. He walks over to some framed photos on the wall, all showing him as a ball player in various uniforms: Detroit Tigers, Boston Red Sox, and the Philadelphia Athletics. It's clear he's looking at versions of himself.
It should have been us this year. Lousy second-place finish.
He hears the door open and turns to see Ty Cobb, 41, lean, wiry, and weathered, standing there.
Open for business, Ehmke?
Not much longer here, Ty.
Closing down?
Moving the whole operation to Philadelphia.
I'm a bit of a businessman myself. Sounds like a wise decision.
You are a baseball man, always will be.
I've done my time. I've got nothing to prove to nobody.
They'll be talking about you and the Babe until the end of time.
Maybe so, but that's not why I'm here. I caught wind of you maybe walking away from the game a tad early.
Says who?
Doesn't matter. Remember when I took over managing the Tigers in 21?
Sure do.
Didn't make us winners, did it? But it changed you. You got hungrier to win. You didn't fear batters, you went after them.
I recall getting a nice little reward for hitting them.
You also struck out more than 100 for the first time.
Did it 3 seasons in a row.
You remember how that felt?
What's your point?
I have a hunch. You give yourself to this game one more season. See where it takes you. See where Mr. Mack takes all of you. That's all.
He turns to leave.
If you have a need for infield tarpaulin where you're heading next, you let me know.
Cobb smiles and makes his way out. Ehmke looks back at the framed portrait of himself as a Tiger. Interior of Terry Park, Fort Myers. The day is March 1929, 5 months later. From the owner's suite, the A's owner, a 66-year-old, well-dressed, towering figure of a quiet authority, watches his ball players work out on the field.
The Yankees won the pennant and the World Series. We had the league's MVP and second place finish.
Mickey's the finest catcher I've ever worked with, Mr. Mack.
He sure is. And I listen to him. I trust him.
I feel the same.
Now, he hasn't said anything specifically about you, but it's what he hasn't said that tells me a lot.
Mr. Mack, I'm good. My arm will get back into shape this month. It'll be ready come April.
I'm sure you will. But I have a whole ball club to manage. I'm not a man to hold my breath and expect the best.
If you were going to trade me, why didn't you do it sooner? To the Yankees, maybe?
Howard, I have no intentions of trading you. You're good for the team. You're good for the other pitchers. We're just going to change your roll-up.
For less money?
No, same as 28. We just won't be starting games unless we absolutely need you.
Howard responds with silence.
Oh, I believe you'll need me. You just don't know how much yet.
Mr. Mack slides a contract over the desk to Ehmke and hands him a pen. Ehmke smiles and signs. Exterior of Terry Park, Fort Myers. Daytime, March 1929. Catcher Mickey Cochran, 26, a fiery, sharp-witted leader on the field, throws a ball to Ehmke for warm-ups. Ehmke fires it fast at Cochran's head.
So the old man told you.
I'm not done with this game, so it better not think it's done with me.
You're still a kid to Jack Quinn.
True, and the Yankees only won the pennant by 2.5 games last year.
He settles in and catches the ball thrown by Cochran.
Good hitting, better pitching. That's what we'll have on Babe and that bunch this season.
Ehmke winds up and delivers a side-armed pitch. It sails away from its target, and he fumes.
Settle down. We're just getting started, buddy, all right? Long road ahead of us.
Ehmke throws another wild pitch and winces in pain. Interior of the Ehmke home, Philadelphia, nighttime. 3 weeks later, Ehmke sits down to dinner with his wife, Marguerite, 32, soft, measured, and with a detached affection in her demeanor.
It's good to have you home.
You don't miss Detroit?
Home is where we are together. You gonna tell me about Florida?
I told you.
How long have we been married? You usually tell me everything about spring ball.
They're not going to use me.
Mr. Mack gave you a contract, didn't he?
He thinks I should call it quits.
Maybe you're right. I don't want to see you put yourself through more pain just to sit on the bench all season.
I will be getting paid to sit on the bench. If Mr. Mack doesn't start me more than a few times a month, I'm still earning my paychecks.
You hurt your arm any worse, and he's going to let you go either way.
Maybe, but I have a feeling in my gut this is our year, if I can just get back to.
Dear, you're about to turn 35. There's no getting back to anything.
Fine, I'll pitch till I can't. Then I'll quit and work the canvas business until I'm an old man.
Interior Shibe Park, Philadelphia, daytime. The players step onto the field as rain starts to fall. Cochran looks at Ehmke, who's concerned. A short time later, Ehmke and a few other players roll tarpaulin over the infield as visiting Red Sox players watch from their dugout. A short time later, in the dugout, the Athletics watch as the rainfall gets more intense. Mr. Mack sits down next to Ehmke.
Looks like today's not your day, Ehmke.
That cover will hold up. No need to call it yet.
They already did. You know, I remember a Red Sox pitcher who no-hit us back in '23. Glad he's pitching for us now.
Ehmke tries to speak, but no words come out. He watches as Mack gets up and walks away.
You just keep that arm safe for next time.
Interior Ehmke home, Philadelphia, nighttime. Marguerite serves supper to her husband.
How many games did he have you pitch last season?
23, started 18 of them.
And so with this rain, he won't start you tomorrow.
That's not how it works.
Well, Mr. Ehmke, do you propose to just wait around all season for your chance?
If you're trying again to get me to quit.
Not at all. I'm just saying that if you want to get your turn, you're going to have to find a way to make sure that he picks you.
Nobody insists on anything with Mr. Mack. Man's been in the game since before you and I were born.
You don't have to be direct about it. Now eat your supper before it gets cold.
He smiles the smile of a husband in love with his wife. Interior, Mack Stadium office, daytime. Mr. Mack studies Ehmke's face.
You want to coach the pitchers?
I'm at every game. I'm barely out there, but I'm always watching.
And what do you see?
Let's start with Lefty Grove. He relies on pure speed, but he could learn to use his fastball strategically. Use more off-speed pitches to keep hitters off balance.
And Wahlberg?
He works on his delivery, make it smoother. Helps him get more control and work the corners more.
Earnshaw?
Changing speeds will help, and he needs to get better control of his fastball to give up less walks. Some high-pressure games where we've only got a one-run lead will toughen his thinking too.
And Jack Quinn?
Jack's got a rare talent for keeping hitters off balance. His knuckler dances all over the plate, and he spots that fastball when he needs it. Even after all those years in the league, he still outthinks batters, changing speeds and locations on a whim. What really sets him apart is his composure. No matter how tight the game, Quinn never loses his cool. He just locks on to the catcher's signals, delivers inning after inning. You know you're in good hands when Jack steps on the rubber.
Well, now the veterans won't take to a coach who's still on the mound from time to time, but the rookies will eat up any of your advice.
Rookies.
Interior, Nevin Field, Detroit, daytime. May 14th, 1929. Ehmke watches as Lefty Grove fires an off-speed pitch to strike out the Tiger batter. The two men shake hands as Grove returns to the dugout with a save. Scoreboard, Athletics 10, Tigers 8. An Nevin Field worker changes the standings to show the Athletics moving past the Yankees for the sole possession of first place in the American League. Interior, Nevin Field Visitors Clubhouse. A short time later, the players change into their street clothes.
Now you're back at first, but we're not celebrating anything yet.
Hey, who knows, Mr. Mack? We may end up with 100 wins.
I've been in this for more than 30 years. The only time this team has won that many was back in 1910 and 1911. You were all little boys back then.
Jack Quinn laughs.
Yeah, except Quinn. He was already 40.
Quinn then growls.
I'm just saying, it's a long season in this game, and nobody can predict what twists and turns it will take.
Ehmke studies his manager's face. Mr. Mack catches a glimpse of Ehmke's stare.
Ehmke, you feeling ready to get back out there?
Ehmke nods in silence.
Oh, it'll be ready, Mr. Mack.
Is that so?
Ehmke shrugs. Exterior, Cochran's home, Philadelphia. In the evening, Cochran tosses a baseball to Ehmke.
All right, so tell me about your first year with the Sox.
They had come off a horrible season in 1922. Last place. They got a new manager.
Frank Chance.
We had high hopes.
Yeah, but that was a Yankee year.
Don't I know it? Brand new Yankee Stadium, and I give up the very first home run in it.
To Ruth, of course.
Yeah.
So, you're playing for the last place team, and somehow you come up with a fine pitching late in the season. I heard that.
Cochran steps back and squats down.
All right, just talk and pitch.
Ehmke catches the ball, thrown back to him.
Nobody cares if you're in 8th place. Maybe they ease up a bit.
Ehmke winds up and delivers the sidearm pitch.
All right, so you're at Shibe and you're against the old man's team.
Speed was still good on my fastball then.
You strike anybody out?
Ehmke starts to wind up and sees Cochran hold his glove up. Ehmke pauses his motion, then resumes as Cochran brings down his glove. The sidearm pitch smacks into Cochran's glove.
Just their catcher to end the first.
You walk any?
Ehmke repeats the hesitation in his delivery and fires another pitch.
Just one.
Ehmke throws another pitch. Mrs. Cochran steps out of the house.
Hey, honey.
Supper's ready.
Hey, honey, grab us a bat. Come join us.
You grab a bat.
I'll be in soon, honey.
They watch as she disappears inside.
All right, so it didn't matter if you won that game. It didn't mean anything to the team.
Nope, still in 8th place. But that didn't stop me from trying to do it again. Next game, I'm at Yankee Stadium. Whitney Witt leads off, smashes the first ball down the third base line. Schenk misplays it and Witt gets on base. I don't give any attention and just get back to work. Rest of the game, not a single other batter reached base, except Wally Sheng in the second with a walk. After the game, I hear the man scoring and knew Witt got on with an error, not a clean hit.
Should have been another no-hitter.
Name a pitcher who no-hitters in 2 straight games. I bet you can't.
I can't.
Probably my only shot at the record books, and 6 years later, it still irks me.
Interior of Ehmke home, Philadelphia, at night. Marguerite reads a book as her husband returns. She gets up and greets him.
Late night at the shop?
No, I was at Mickey's place.
And you couldn't let me know?
We're working on something together.
Dare I even ask?
No need. I'll tell you when the time is right.
A man and his secrets. It better be worth waiting for.
You mind rubbing some liniment on my shoulder?
Oh, that didn't last long.
She pops up and returns with liniment.
You were using that arm, weren't you?
He nods.
Well, get your shirt off.
He removes his shirt and she begins rubbing his right arm.
I can't have you living the rest of your life hugging me with only one good arm. I'm sorry.
War took a lot of men's arms and legs. That could have been me.
I wish I'd known you then.
You came along at the right time. I wasn't ready to settle down at 24.
You matured nicely, Mr. Ehmke.
I also wouldn't trade my year in the Army for anything.
Nothing at all?
No, I can't say the same for poor Christy Mathewson. If I had gotten gassed that way and caught tuberculosis.
His wife stood by him until the end. Any wife worth anything would do the same for her husband.
He looks over at her hands on his arm.
You don't have to be so gentle.
She makes a mischievous smile and rubs his arm harder. Interior Shibe Park, Philadelphia. Daytime. The May montage. May 23rd, 1929. Athletics, 20-8, first place and ahead by 2 games. Ehmke watches from the dugout as the scoreboard shows an 8-0 Senators lead as the top of the 4th starts. Begin the May montage. Al Simmons digs into the box. The first pitch from Bump Hadley. A foul ball mishandled by the catcher. An error. Simmons resets, then works the count before drawing a walk. The comeback spark is lit. Sammy Hale steps in. Another walk. Simmons jogs to second. The restless crowd begins to stir. Next up, Jimmy Fox. The young slugger smashes a single to center. Simmons hustles to third, Hale to second. The bases are loaded. Bing Miller, calm and steady, lines the single to right. Simmons crosses the plate, the first run. Hale races to third, Fox to second. The dugout erupts. Jimmy Dykes follows a sharp grounder off the pitcher. Hale scores, Fox moves to third, Miller to second. Connie Mack, stoic in the dugout, watches as Walt French grabs a bat as pinch hitter. The fans hold their breath. Hadley fires. Crack! French lifts a deep drive to center. The ball splits the outfielders, bouncing off the wall. Fox scores, Miller scores, Dykes scores. The Athletics are up, now down just 5-8. Hadley is done. A frustrated Walter Johnson signals for Bobby Burke. Burke barely settles in before uncorking a wild pitch. French takes third. Max Bishop steps in, calm as ever, and works a walk. Runners on the corners. Mule Haas, the scrappy outfielder, rips a double down the right field line. French scores. Bishop speeds to third. A's are within 2 to tie the game. The Senators scramble again. Burke is yanked for Paul Hopkins. Hopkins gets an easy pop-up, a small relief. But then, an intentional walk to Simmons. Now it's Sammy Hale. He digs in. A sharp single to center. Bishop scores. Haas scores. Simmons moves to second. 8-8. A tie game. The once silent stadium is roaring now. Jimmy Fox returns and hits a hard grounder to third. The Senators turn 2, ending the inning, but the damage is done. The once confident Senators walk off the field shaken. End May montage. Matt gives a signal to Ehmke, and the pitcher heads to the mound with a pat on the back from his catcher. Ehmke looks out at the crowd, now fired up from his first appearance of the season. Ossie Bluge, the Senators' steady third baseman, digs into the box. Ehmke peers in. The creases in his weathered face deepening. He winds, delivers. Crack! A sharp ground ball hugs the third baseline. The A's third baseman lunges, but the ball skips past his glove. Bluge hustles to first, clapping his hands as the Senators' bench erupts. Ehmke exhales, trouble. Behind the plate, catcher Cochran flashes a sign. Keep it low, keep it sharp. The Senators make a move. Buddy Rule steps out of the dugout as pinch hitter for Benny Tate. The crowd murmurs. A fresh bat, a fresh threat. The Ehmke nods, steals himself. He sets and then fires. Swing and a miss. The crowd rises. Bluge takes a long leadoff from first. Cochran sees it. Ehmke delivers again. Strike 3. Rule whiffs, but Cochran is already on his feet. Bluge takes off for second. Cochran fires a laser to second. Bluge slides. Too late. The tag is applied. Double play. The fans erupt with cheers. The Senators' threat is snuffed out in seconds. Ehmke pumps his fist, but the job isn't done. 2 outs now, but here comes Joe Cronin, Washington's young star. Ehmke exhales, rocks back and delivers. Crack! A sharp single to left field. The Senators refuse to fold. Tensions build again as the crowd roars. Cochran flashes a sign, finish this. Paul Hopkins, the next batter, steps in, gripping his bat tight. The dugout leans forward. Ehmke delivers a knee-buckling curve. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ehmke walks off the mound, fists clenched. The Athletics have survived the inning. A short time later, top of the 5th, Bing Miller sends a Paul Hopkins fastball over the left field fence to break the tie. Ehmke greets him at home plate. A short time later, bottom of the 9th, still 9-8, 1 out and 1 on. Ehmke winds and delivers a pitch to Goose Goslin, who pops it up to second baseman Max Bishop for the 2nd out. Ehmke throws a ball outside to Joe Judge, then follows up with a pitch high and over the plate. Judge sends it out to center field, Mule Haas, for the final out. Ehmke walks off the mound and catches a glimpse of his smiling wife in the stands. Teammates greet him near the dugout, and he looks past them to see Mr. Mack with a smile of approval. Exterior Silver Creek ball field, daytime. A high school baseball game wraps up as high school ball players from both teams gather their equipment. Members of the home team head off the field and pass by Ehmke's mother. Mrs. Ehmke at 73, practical, no nonsense, stoic but caring, as she heads into the post office. The boys seem aware of who she is, or rather, whom she raised in this village, but they whisper to themselves as they pass by her. She makes her way onto the post office with a letter in hand. Interior Silver Creek Post Office, moments later. Mrs. Ehmke waits at the counter until the postal clerk greets her.
What can I do for you, Mrs. Ehmke?
I'm mailing a letter to my son.
The idol of Silver Creek. Haven't seen his name much in the papers this season.
The postal clerk takes her letter and places a 2-cent stamp on it.
He's been doing a lot more watching than playing, from what his letters say.
Well, they've got a good team this year, maybe good enough for a pennant. I'm a Yankees fan myself, but I'll root for Howard if his team gets to the World Series.
The clerk picks up a trading card with an image of Ehmke in his delivery.
All of us here have one of these. Got him at the drugstore.
I'll let him know. I'm not sure he'll still be playing this fall. He moved his canvas business to Philadelphia, and it seems to be growing fast.
That Mr. Mack, he's a shrewd one. I'm sure he'll find a way to keep your boy on the mound. They'll need all their pitchers good and healthy to stay ahead of the murderer's row.
Howard said he could have been a Yankee. Then he would have made it to the World Series 2 years in a row.
I remember when all your boys played baseball.
Seems like only yesterday.
Mrs. Ehmke lingers a moment as the clerk places the stamped letter in a bin. The end.
And sometime in the near future, you can see the rest of the story. Speaking of the rest of the story, one of the things Marc Isaacs did, he's been promoting this event on social media and other ways. Good job, Marc. And he reached out to the Oakland Athletics to see if they might be interested in honoring in some form or fashion their alum, Howard Ehmke, at this appropriate time. And frankly, to my surprise, they in fact did react and sent a letter. And to add real gravitas to the whole thing, we've invited a very special person to us here, Tom Tellmann. Tom was born March 29, 1954, and is an American former professional baseball player who played in the major leagues for the San Diego Padres from 79 to 1980, the Milwaukee Brewers from the 1983 to 1984, and the Oakland Athletics in 1985. In 227 innings, pitched over 112 appearances. He accepted 65 total chances without an error for a perfect 1,000 fielding percentage in his major league career. We're just so thrilled. From Warren, Pennsylvania, Tom Tellmann, if you'd come and share the letter from the Oakland Athletics.
I didn't realize I had three things in common with my alumnus. The year I played in Oakland, I was also 34 years old, had a couple of injury problems and missed part of the season, and I also pitched in 11 games. So that's quite a coincidence. So I will now read the letter we received from the A's. It says, the Athletics take great pride in our history, especially our 9 World Series championships. We are pleased to hear about Howard Ehmke Night in Jamestown, New York on July 13th, 2025. The A's had already won 3 championships in 1910, 1911, and 1913 before Howard was added to a rebuilding Philadelphia Athletics club in June of 1926. He joined a pitching staff that featured future Hall of Famers Lefty Grove and compiled a 12-4 record, 1 win shy of Grove's team leading 13 wins. His next 2 seasons were impacted by arm problems and a knee injury, and at the age of 34, some thought his career might be over. Connie Mack felt differently. In one of several shrewd decisions, Mack brought Ehmke back for the 1929 season. Howard pitched in just 11 regular season games that year, but recorded 7 wins. With his playing time limited, he had the opportunity to scout the Chicago Cubs in late August when they were in town to play the Phillies. The A's and Cubs would go on to meet in the World Series, and when the series opened in Chicago on October 8th, Mack did not tap 24-game winner George Earnshaw or 20-game winner Lefty Grove to start Game 1. Instead, he sent Ehmke to the mound, and Howard responded by striking out 13 in a 3-1 win. Ehmke also started Game 5, but did not get a decision as the A's clinched the series with 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to get the victory. Ehmke pitched in 3 more games for the A's in 1930 before retiring in May. By that time, he had already opened his own business, Ehmke Manufacturing, which developed tarps to cover baseball infields. One of his first clients was A's owner, Connie Mack. Nearly 100 years have passed since his World Series performance, but the Ehmke name survives in both his manufacturing company and the athletics record book for most strikeouts in a postseason game. We'd like to thank you for organizing Howard Ehmke Night, keeping his story alive, and we look forward to seeing your screenplay come to life.
Thank you, Tom. And I just want to, Jim Feldman, Jim is here? Jim, okay. Jim, yes, we chatted a little bit earlier. To kind of draw closure before I do have some final remarks, I'm going to call up Jim Feldman. Jim is the administrative assistant, but really he runs the county. We have a county executive, his name is P.J. Wendel. You know, he's the guy that's the face, he's the guy that does this stuff, but behind the scenes is James Feldman. So he's got a special proclamation here. James?
Thank you, thank you. So I'm very happy to be here for County Executive Wendel. I actually am also from Silver Creek, so I spent my entire life driving right past the Ehmke house, the ball field. Went to Silver Creek High School. There was a display in there, so every day when I was stumbling into the school, still half asleep, I got to see that every morning, so I'm very happy to be here. I also have another slight connection. So Howard Ehmke started with the Detroit Tigers in 1916. Almost 100 years later, my cousin Drew Verhagen was picked up by the Tigers and pitched for them for 5 seasons. Now he's over playing in Japan with, I think, the Hokkaido Fighters. So if you want to look him up, he didn't have quite the record that Ehmke did, but still a cool little personal connection there. So from the Office of the County Executive of Chautauqua County, New York, a proclamation. Whereas Chautauqua County is rich in history and tradition, and we are proud to recognize the lives and legacies of those whose achievements have left a lasting impact on our communities and beyond. And whereas Howard Ehmke, born in Silver Creek, New York in 1894, was a distinguished baseball pitcher who pitched for his high school baseball team in Silver Creek when they won the Chautauqua County Championship in 1912. And whereas Mr. Ehmke began his professional baseball career in 1914, and his professional career spanned 16 years from 1914 to 1930, including stints with the Los Angeles Angels, Buffalo Blues, Detroit Tigers, Boston Red Sox, and Philadelphia Athletics. And whereas Mr. Ehmke's career highlights include a World Series championship, a no-hitter, a 20-win season, a then record 13 strikeouts in Game 1 of the 1929 World Series at the age of 35, a 166 to 166 win-loss record with a 3.75 earned run average and more than 1,000 career strikeouts, achievements that have earned him a place in baseball history and the hearts of Chautauqua County residents. And whereas Mr. Ehmke's ingenuity off the field was equally impactful, as he is credited with inventing and commercializing the first large tarpaulins to cover baseball and football fields, founding the Howard Ehmke Company in 1925, a business that continues to thrive today in Philadelphia. And whereas the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, whose name proudly honors both the local legacy of Howard Ehmke and his contributions to the game, will host a community celebration at Dietrich Park on July 13th, 2025 to educate and engage the public in the rich baseball history rooted here in Chautauqua County. And whereas this celebration of Howard Ehmke's legacy serves not only to honor the local legend, but also to inspire future generations to embrace excellence, innovation, and community pride. Now therefore, Paul M. Wendel Jr., Chautauqua County Executive, does hereby proclaim Sunday, July 13th, 2025 as Howard Ehmke Day in Chautauqua County and encourages all residents to join in celebrating the life and legacy of this exceptional athlete, innovator, and native son of Silver Creek. In witness whereof, he has here to set his hand and cause the great seal of the County of Chautauqua to be affixed this 13th day of July, 2025. Signed, Paul M. Wendel Jr., Chautauqua County Executive. Happy Howard Ehmke Day.
Thanks, James. This is magical, and I really feel so gratified that all of this came together. Again, how many Ehmke family members are there here? Look at this. This is incredible. And they come from all over the country to be here today to honor Howard Ehmke. And things have happened where we are not only here today, we see Marc Isaacs, we see the day named after Howard Ehmke, we have the play readers, and we have folks coming in from Philadelphia. And we have all the tickets, by the way, which were distributed today courtesy of Ehmke Manufacturing, Ehmke Well Drillers. So thank you to Fritz and Hans. Thank you very much for underwriting all of that stuff. And also we have a Wi-Fi fund, which was assisted all of that underwriting of that. We also have, as you're walking out today, patches which are that which was discussed. So make sure everybody walks out with them because we have enough for everybody. We have a hat for the Ehmke family members. We want you to make sure you have that, and we have tickets for you as well. But I also thought, Randy Anderson, maybe, since all these people are here, and we have them captive, we haven't opened the door, wouldn't it be neat to take their pictures with a Tarp Skunks hat and turn them into a baseball card? Wouldn't that be neat? And if you don't know this, one of the things we have done for our dignitaries, and you all are now, is we in fact put this hat on you. We will take a picture. We have a cell phone that hopefully still has battery. And we'll take a picture and we'll boom, boom, boom. And soon you will have a laminated baseball card of a Jamestown Tarp Skunks. And that is really cool because that is the calling card, your calling card, and you won't throw it away, I can assure you.
There's nothing better than that. At Dietrich Park, the skunks take the field. The pitcher winds and sends it down the pipe. The batter's never seen a polecat throw a ball before. It zips right past him like a stripe. Baseball, we stand and cheer our team.
We're going to turn up the lights, and if we could get one group picture, I mean, this will never happen again. So we'll get one group picture all together, kind of squeezed together over here.